All this is Mubin Sayed. Welcome to the cafe. I wanted to share with you something very interesting. This is the latest and greatest news. So, if you have been following my chronic inflammation lectures, I spoke about the regulatory cells last couple of days ago. And so, one cytokine I wanted to, or chemical system I wanted to discuss was program cell death or PD1. PD1, the function of PD1 is that it is on the T and B cell surfaces. This is a protein expressed on the T and B cell surfaces. And normally, if this is activated, this receptor, then what happens is that the cell downregulates their function. They stop recognizing the antigen that is a foreign material or a bad thing or a cancer. And then the cancer or infection can just continue to grow. So PD1 actually plays a very important role even in the regulation. So the regulatory T cell we discussed. So this is a drug called dostarlimab, and it blocks PD1. What that means is that if I am an immune cell and I have PD1 on my head and this is stimulated, I will stop working or reduce my function. So if you don't let PD1 be stimulated, that means I can stay active. That means I can take care of the cancer or the infections. So this drug blocks the PD1. And the result is in a colorectal patient, after 6 months of treatment, the cancer was undetectable. This is a drug that caused this cancer. After 6 months of treatment, the cancer was undetectable by physical exam, endoscopy, PET scans, or MRI scans in all 12 patients. The cancer has remained undetectable in all patients, including one followed for 25 months. How about that? So I think we should discuss this paper and we should know this drug, dostarlimab. We should keep it in our mind. This is, I think this is, at least in my memory, this is the first drug that has done this for all patients. Of course, the study would have those patients that this drug is targeted to, colorectal cancers. But again, colorectal cancers are actually very common kind of cancers, both in men and women. So this is a huge deal. So Denise says, I read this today as well. Yes, I love my monoclonal antibodies. Hey, Doug, how are you? Okay, so I wanted to ask you something about the this channel. I'm still trying to figure out how do we make this channel more valuable. So I'm going to share some values of this channel with you, some directions, and you tell me what is the direction where you would say that, yeah, I would like to join this channel or be here for this reason. And if I don't mention a reason, then you please comment that what is the reason you would like to be here so that I can take this channel in that direction. One reason, which is kind of maybe silly, but maybe you would like that. And that is really you talking with each other in this chat. And my presence is just because the channel is online. So then I can do this is that we can put the channel online. You are doing your discussions and I'm participating as well. Plus I'm doing my little homework too, or whatever I want to. And we are just hanging out together. That is one. The question in my mind in there is it worth your time? Can this scale? Can this sustain? Is it enough value? That's one. Second possibility, Doug, hold on before you go to bed. Give me your opinion. So, second possibility is that we collect questions. Let's say 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we collect your questions. And then Thursday and Friday I prepare the answers, and then we have a Friday evening discussion where I then respond or discuss those. That is another possibility. A third possibility is to actually create a recorded video, and let's say we take this to a science or innovation in medical science, just like dostarlimab. So imagine that we talk about latest what is happening in medicine, forgetting about COVID, latest what is happening in medicine, new trials, new results, new drugs, how do they work? Or we continue to do what we are doing, and that is this. If we did the question and answers, then maybe middle of the week we can do an art. I would love to do art channel, art work. So maybe in the middle of the week we do art, then Friday we'll answer all the questions we collected over the weekend or over the week. So how would you like it? Doug, after you respond, you can go to sleep if you have not already gone to sleep. So Mega Muzi says latest in medicine. Okay. And what I would like to do is one more thing. I wanted to grow a little bit on my end. And I think the growth that I need to do, this is not about the subscriber growth, my growth. I think the next step I want to grow into is to be able to make recorded and polished videos instead of this live chit chat. So we can continue to do these, but I would like to produce videos. And hopefully once, if those videos are good and there is more support for them, then I can have team that would produce them. So if, let's say, we have the latest discussion of the latest technologies, medicine, uh, new trials, new drugs, new mechanisms, I would love to make them more pre-recorded with bells and whistles, polished. What do you think? And if that is the case, then I'll take maybe once a week, I'll do the video, because over the week we'll produce it, and then once a week you'll have a video. Because I want to grow into shorter, more polished video assets, 10-15 minutes videos. The question is time. Critical Thought says so many unanswered questions. Anything to answer more would be good. So, Critical Thought, I think that for these questions, we should curate them. So maybe there are two things that happen on this channel. One is to curate the questions and then sit down once a week or twice a week and discuss those questions. Second is to actually produce some videos and upload them every week. Lisbeth says, it's been great. I'll be sad if there's no longer a chit chat. I think we'll continue our chit chats. James says, latest in medicine. MGW says, Dr. Bean podcast. So tell me this, MGW, the difference in podcast and this, is podcast audio only, or this is podcast too? I can just speak about some topic and you are talking with each other as well. Kerry Girl says, I love that idea. Bay Area says, I like a good mix of all suggestions, and yes, I highly value the content provided. Thank you. Iggy Pop says, option 3 sounds interesting if built around a weekly summary of key learnings and home applications. Okay. Eric says, I like all KoolBeens comments. I get ideas, and Mobeen's stories of hardship. Well, you have a lots of stories of hardship. So after that sheep story that I told and people just totally went mad at me, I have stopped telling stories. Sita says all are good. Sita, this is like an easy cop out to say, okay, everything is good. Choose. Doug is now sleeping. Doug, good night. Cabbage says, do it. I can be the main character there too. Yes, absolutely. We can make Cabbage the main character. Henry says, hanging out together while each also does their work. I like that. So I can do it that it actually becomes live every day. And then, regardless of my presence, there is just this live and you're having your discussions and fun. And I can pitch in every so once in a while, or I can just leave it like this and go out and do something else and come back. And after an hour, we hang up. That can be possible too. If there is a value in you interacting with each other. John Snyder says the god, the goat sheep slide story. But do you know John Snyder? That was the story with the worst ever commentaries and comments and hate I got. So I actually, within one day, I cut the story out of the video. It was, and after that, I stopped telling the stories. Kini says, Cool Beans have been a refuge for me, but I don't have any medical background. Doesn't matter. We've been learning medicine together. John says, I like the bedtime stories. Thank you. Janet says, I miss the sheep story. so, so Janet, are you baiting me to say that over here as well, to tell that story and then get hate over here as well? MGW says, modern podcast is recording video of the talk and then posting just the audio to a podcast channel. This would be great for the shorter talks and could be listened to while doing other things. Oh, I see. So I have to add something useful in the talk as well, so I don't waste your time. Lisa says, I would like to be in the Cool Beans Cafe channel for a weekly Zoom call and pay for it. I'm a layperson, so paying for medical lectures is less important. Okay, so that I can do. We can do that. Doug says all of the above. Doug, not fair. Okay, you go to sleep. I think you're too sleepy. When you come back tomorrow, we'll ask you. Kerry Girl says the audio from this is the podcast. I see. Got it. Nipa says this is a podcast too. Got it. Got it. Thank you. John says, I don't know. Why not all of them? Okay. Uh, Time. Producing the lectures, recorded lectures, is actually more time consuming than these live ones. I love this. Cabbage is saying, what about the main characters? I know, Cabbage, you want to be the main character. We will do a voting together here. And if everybody says this channel's main character should be Cabbage, then we'll have Cabbage as the main channel. Or Alcuin's turtles and goats. Maybe the main character should be a turtle with a cabbage on it. Janet says sheep making stamps at the. Yes, absolutely. Casey says just miss the topic. So Casey, if you re-watch the beginning, I have a few questions that I need input for. Alcuin says Alcuin will vote early and often for cabbage. Good. SK says FDA's Peter Marks told Bloomberg that yearly COVID boosters are needed. Agreed. My simple answer is no. Then more qualified answer is some people would need it. For example, immunosuppressed, immunocompromised, organ transplant patients, cancer patients, um, patients whose immune system is not as well functional, maybe because of advanced age or maybe because of uncontrolled diabetes. Um, so, comorbidities, these are the kind of patients that might need boosters. Otherwise, they're just trying to sell boosters, in my opinion. They keep harassing us that now is going to come the summer, and then the this whole thing is going to become bad again. And then there are folks who also keep saying vaccines are causing variants and summer is going to be destruction. Look, I think I've gotten COVID more than once now, but it actually became better. Robin says fermented cabbage. James says boost me please. You are boosted. Meeple Art is here. So Meeple Art, enjoy the live shows analyzing studies, maybe both lives and cafe a bit shorter, curated questions on community tab each week. So the other one, main channel, I think that is going to keep evolving towards more precise, shorter. Today's talk was longer, but if you see, I have been making them shorter and shorter. This one was, let's just have an open discussion. But I think even this one can have a structure and a different kind of value here compared to the other one. Question is, what should be that value? Jim says red cabbage is healthier than green cabbage. Denise says good night. Good night, Denise. Nipa says normal chit chat, discuss a natural remedy. Natural remedy actually sounds very interesting. The only fear is YouTube, because they have that in their uh, terms and conditions. But if we don't talk about COVID, maybe then natural remedies generally are a good thing to discuss. Svetlana says we could have a quiz or similar where participants respond to a question or two. A person who correctly responds first can have this her question answered. Dr. Bean asks and we answer. That's a good idea too. I think people would really run away if you ask them questions. On the other hand, it reminds me there is also a program to have KoolBeens join us and have that discussion. So, for example, I was thinking Paul is preparing a lecture about the weight loss and math of that. Maybe we should do that simultaneously here and there on the other channel. Learner Learner says any news on new vaccines from Omicron? So they have made them and they're trialing it, both Moderna and Pfizer. I don't think they really are very excited about them. Good night, Sky Frog. I hope you're feeling well. Sky, I was actually not able to get on Discord for a couple of days. I'll get on and connect with you. Historical mechanism of old witches' tales. Yes, I love stories. Hot car plus Kumichi is the car that cannot be sold. Blank Blank says is immune exhaustion. I think yes. How will booster play into it? Not much. So I actually did a discussion on the other channel called immune exhaustion. So please watch that. That yes, it is a thing. It's a deliberate thing that our body does. But I don't think boosters. If boosters were that easy to create immune exhaustion, then every other vaccine like flu and those would have created them. So no. Bob channel says, I'm trying to catch up with the immune system videos, but works gets in the way. I also need a nap in the afternoon because I'm old. I would love to have a nap as well. So it's not about old, it's actually fun. So, so with this, one more question. Here, Learner says, what is this CC itis was a second side effect in the myocarditis or pericarditis in the Novavax study. Oh, cholecystitis. So cholecystitis was gallbladder's inflammation. Parth, good luck. Have the first position in your exams. Mega Muzi says, I'd love to learn about statins based on studies worldwide, other meds also. Hmm. Patizek says you should have Mrs. Bean on sometime. Tell us about the natural remedy. Yes. So she is so private that she doesn't want to appear. So I was thinking of saying, how about when we reach 1 million subscribers on the other channel, we have a Mrs. Mubin reveal. But I have to first ask her that would she agree on that or not. That seems far enough. We are at about 6,000, 600,000, not exactly even that. So that seems far enough for her to say, okay, sure. And then maybe we'll reach there. Yeah, her recipes are very good. So question is, what would you like? So let's say you come in here for an hour. What is the most interesting thing that would keep you coming in maybe once or twice a week, if not every day? Is it the new medical science breakthroughs, or is it this chit chat, or something else? Maybe both. Go talks, Texas. Elquin says daily commentary on Portugal. Yeah, that'll be nice. Burning cocktails. Yes, I have many such s- tales. Sita says, Doggerbean, could you do a cartoon of your wife and she? Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. That's a nice idea. Zoom chat, yes. So I think we should do one Zoom like thing with the Doug is still here. Doug, go back to sleep. Good night. All of the I'm not accepting your all of the above. Yes, cartoons. Okay, so Doug, you have very sharp hearing. Yes, Luffy just meowed and you heard him. Um, like ideas, a variety, different themes for different evening art, latest medical news, chit chat, and yeah, I think we can do that. One day for art, one day for latest medical news. It has to be something that I can prepare, and I want to do one polished video as well, which would take many days to produce. You write the script, then you produce that, then you write the storyboards and produce the other things in front of it. Yes, new drugs like rapamycin. Yes. She could use a cat overlay. That's a good idea. Natural remedy. One day natural remedies. Okay, good. So Richard says, do what is fun for you, but I like learning about supplements and things. I think we should do that. Supplements and neck pumps and forest bathings. I think we should do this. Okay, um, so Iggy Pop, can we discuss your question tomorrow? So let's stop here today. Give me your comments. I would read these comments as well. We'll figure out a schedule for this one, and it has to be something realistic that I can do. So you have to give me this preparation time as well. And I was also thinking seriously that in 1 month, if I can find 2 hours for two people, one only two people who are just sick of the situation, health situation, and they have want to have some education about it, but paid sessions, not free sessions. And what I'll do is I will prepare them for a month for what is the situation, what is the disease, and then discuss them with them. So mostly educational session, but I don't think I can do that at scale. So just 1 or 2 hours. Okay, so with this, thank you to everyone. Thank you uh, for the inputs. Here is Gene. Keep him coming. I'm interested in latest medicine news, neurobiology, art, natural remedies, and cues. Okay, so all of them. Yes, I have heard that for a long time. Lufimectin. They actually raided people who were doctors who were prescribing it. Critical Thought says, I agree with Christy. We need one day every week or two for on another censorship free platform. I think that's a good idea as well. Yes. So Lernan says, what about one of the beans is preparing? Yes, we should actually, we can take control of our own material here and we can all prepare and some of us prepare a topic and then present it and discuss it and have fun together. So natural remedies are, they're getting a lot of traction today. John Snyder says Microsoft Biology design organs in Minecraft. Yeah, that's a good idea. Lisa says, we just bloody love you, Doc. Anything goes. Okay. Thank you very much. Love you back as well. Cabbage says, because I draw you, you are the Olympic champion in our videos. Kini says, I wish I lived in Canada. Thank you very much. Siddhartha says, great idea. Alcun says, maybe the history of Alcun cracks me up with turtles in Portugal. Portugal. Coconut oil. We should talk about coconut oil. Yes. Paul Bork updates. Yeah. So Paul Bork is actually ready with one more update. Windows versus Mac. Yes, that's a good idea. So Casey says, I challenge you to sort out my health issues and how to deal with them. So I actually thought a lot about this. And I think to really do justice to understand somebody's situation and then give them education about it, not prescription, not medical advice, but education, it would take a month of preparation. And that kind of medicine is not practiced anymore, right? The doctor just says, okay, what do you have? 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, they give you a prescription as well. And then it is actually so counterproductive because then the patient keeps on coming for years and never receives more than 10 minutes attention. So attention is never of good enough quality to get them out of it or to understand that this is how the life is. So I think we have to develop this trend in our medical field of deep learning about a patient situation and educating them so they can then go from there. For example, this dostarlimab, I was so excited because T regulatory cells also have PD1 as a controller and other T and B cells, although I haven't talked about them. But we have the whole infrastructure in our mind for how immune system works. If we just add this concept of PD1, we can understand this drug in 10 minutes. John Snyder says 10 minutes more like 5 minutes. Yes. So with this, love you all. Ideas needed. We have to make this channel a value for all of us, and we go from there. Meeple Art says, I love to hear about Indian recipe, but so that is so funny, Meeple Art. This is not because of your comment, but when somebody really wants to insult me on the other channel, they usually say, well, stop talking about medicine and talk about chicken tikka masala. So they actually that they take that as an insult to me. But I think chicken tikka masala is a good thing too. But yes, Indian recipes and Ayurvedic supplements are a good idea. Thank you. I was actually talking with my team members that discussing medicine with common folks is more productive and more meaningful than just to discuss it with medical students and doctors, nurses. Deb says, I appreciate your research paper interpretations and art lessons and pleasant attitude and the chit chat while you're patiently instructing to on another topic. Thank you very much. Maple art. Yeah, this is something that we are all someday going to stare in the face. Yes, new ways to deal with cancer, immune system antibodies. Yes. So, Vanilla Bean says, you're too smart to be insulted by fools, Dr. Bean. Yes. So it's just funny that sometimes people just think that that is what is the insult. That will be really good if Scott Adams doesn't sue me for copyright. Repurposed medications. Yeah, that's a very important one. Yes. Jim says, I believe I've wiped out my blood cancer. Very good. Very good. John says India has. Yes. My my grandfather, yes, my grandfather and the whole generation till him were um, Ayurvedic doctors as well, or Hakim as we say them. And then me and my brother became allopathic doctors, and here we are. So SS says, why is it that doctors just want to prescribe meds rather than getting to cause and fix correct problems naturally? Think about it, how much energy it will take for doctors to understand, because it's going to become different per patient. So when they're going with the algorithm, you have headache, here is your pill, go. You have diarrhea, here is a pill, go. So that is an easier way out. Uh, Plus, there is some sophistication in that. However, those cases where there is a difficulty in managing because the current therapies are not working, then a deeper dive is necessary. But our medical system is actually not geared for that. If you give a doctor, you sees you for 10 minutes, prescribes you something, gets $250, general provider, done. He earned 250. If you ask him that, hey, do me a favor and learn more about myself and my disease and then discuss it, and he's, let's say he has to spend 10 hours, will he do it? That's the problem. That is a blind spot in our medical education, medical system. And how have we tried to put the band-aid on it? We have done that by saying you need to do CMEs, you need to update your knowledge, and a nurse 16 hours a year in 2 years, or 32 hours or 76 hours, depending upon the specialty. But that is in 2 years. They can go on a conference or a cruise and get all of those. So that is just a formality now. Absolutely. Doctor's license can be totally in trouble. Eric Dog says 10 minutes per patient. Yes. Seox Tube says, I live on American Indian reservation, and that's a general approach. Pills and the easy options first, and then it becomes a matter of setting up the treatments if things are more complicated. Yes. Get the CEs at a bar. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You go sit down together and you are getting CEs. Actually, if you go to uptodate.com, just searching for a topic on UpToDate gives you a CE. Just searching for it. They assume you have read it if you searched for it. Take everything with a positive, so you'll be a happy person. Chicken tikka masala also is natural remedy. Happiness, yes. That mad mast cell looks too much like Dilbert. Yes. So once more, we're gonna break for now. So Zizi says, "What made you choose allopathic medicine when your family was Ayurvedics?" So my my maternal side grandfather was Ayurvedic, and then the whole chain above them for 400 years were Ayurvedics. Then my mother and her brother, they refused to go into medicine at all. And then when it came to us, there was enough gap. We had the books. My mother used to actually show us the books that our grandfather used to use, or even he had written books by hand. So that just became a lost science for us, and so we went into allopathic medicine. Svetlana, thank you very much. So bye bye for now. Thank you very much for hanging out. I would see you tomorrow. Parth says Dr. Bean is getting bigger biceps. The same biceps. So I would see you tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, and share. And there are links in the description if you would like to support this work. I would see you tomorrow. And Margaret is here. Margaret, thank you very much for once again your generous donation. I also want to thank Ang On. She has been An Ong, actually, An Ong. She has been consistently supporting without even directly communicating. I get her cards and I get her support. So thank you very much. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.